Hi there and welcome to my second video on Barre and Barre techniques and in incorporating into this a study which is going to just develop our blues playing a little bit to provide some walking bassline blues, which is great fun to play, and hopefully you'll enjoy this. So straight away I'm just going to mention the first thing that's really important about learning barres. I'm not going to recap on everything that was done in study number 1, the A minor blues. Look at that video and pick up all the tips on how to do the barres. But what I am going to say, quite important really, for barres is actually the quality of your guitar. When you're doing a full barre, you're going to really notice now the difference between a guitar that's got a very high string height action, so that's the height of the strings above the guitar neck, to those that have got a low string action. And what I will say at this point is, if you're really struggling to get a good barre sound, so you can't put your finger on and just play and get a good sound straight away, you've probably got a guitar that's got an action that's too high, and it just might mean that you need to invest in a better quality guitar, slightly higher price, where the string action is lower, and that's something that you're going to have to investigate. And the only way you can do that is to go to a guitar shop and get a classical guitar and sit and find if you can play a barre on it or not. You will find that some of them are just too high, they're just not designed for high level playing, and you won't be able to do it. So, bit of advice for you there. So the main thing to do here was going to do a full barre. In the last study I mentioned about putting the thumb slightly lower than what we normally play, but this time I'm going to put my thumb, you can just see the tip of my thumb there, I'm just going to pull it down so it's about halfway to 3/4 the way up the guitar neck. Yeah, so we're going to play full barres, and so we need the thumb there. It's really just putting our hand in this C-shaped position that I talk about in lessons, and putting it behind the guitar neck. And the first thing we're going to do, we're not actually going to play a barre, we'll go to fret 5, put finger 1 on fret 5 of string 3, then string 3, fret 6 with finger 2, fret 7, finger 3, and fret 8 with finger 4. And that's all I've done. I've formed a C shape with my hand, and then I've put the fingers down on string 3 on 5, frets 5, 6, 7 and 8. And all I'm going to do now is just stretch my finger out, my finger 1. There you go, it's like in a barre. And you can see now that you can actually play all your other fingers across all the other frets, even playing a barre. So all I'm going to do is release those fingers, and I'll just curl them up out the way, and you can see that I've got my finger looking pretty straight, comfortable across there. It's not perfectly straight, I've not got it like as flat can be. Okay, I've got a slight bend in my knuckle joints, because you don't need to have like this perfect flat finger. You just need to be able to feel all the strings. So that was one way of doing it, putting our finger there, flattening it across, and then just drop my elbow like I did in the first video, drop my arm. Gravity makes my thumb and my finger kind of hold the guitar neck a bit more so they don't fall away, and that's all the pressure you need. If you're doing too much and really hurting your hand, stop, don't do that, it hurts. Just relax your finger, muted strings, slight pressure until you get full sound without hurting your fingers, pressing too hard. Okay, so the second way of doing this is that now I'm just going to rest my finger in a vertical sort of way, and then I'm just going to let it squeeze each string individually. I can feel each string as my finger goes down, which is a great feeling, so you know you're going to touch them. And make sure you're at the edge of the fret. Little trick, of course, was just to angle that finger towards your face there, so you get on slightly on the side, and again you get all the strings ringing. It's practice, it's technique. Just shake out each time, especially on the full barres, and just go through this routine again, or this one, yeah, until you get enough pressure. There, it's only you can feel this. If you look at any of the great tutor books, you'll find that there's very little written about this apart from trial and error and try to get your fingers in the right place. It's down to you to practice and put your finger in the correct place, the correct angles, the correct tensions and the correct preparation technique. It's something only you can do. You can be shown how to do it, but you need to practice to be able to do it. So Let's just look at a couple of things now. I'll go to fret 3. The strings are still nice and soft here, not too hard like on fret 1 or 2. And we're going to look at a couple of chords. So the first thing is, the biggest thing that people always do is try to put finger 2 on top of finger 1 to reinforce it, get extra pressure. It works, but it means finger 2 can't do anything now, so that's no good. So we're going to learn to do some techniques where we play chords using other fingers, and it stops this reinforcement going on and allows these fingers to do what they're supposed to do, which is play some notes. So I put finger 3 on fret 2, string 2, fret 5, which we know as E, so same as the open E string. There goes my barre, and I'm going to play now, all I'm going to play is thumb on string 5, so that's note C, fret 3, and then E and high G. Okay, that's all I'm doing. So 3 strings, the barre needs to be clear on that one, and the first string, strings 5 and 1. So actually I don't need this like tremendous force across all the strings, I just need to make sure that I'm getting a good feeling contact on those strings. So I just play that chord. Now what I'm going to do, another practice exercise, you need to be able to do these before you even attempt the exercise. Finger 2 goes on fret 4, which is E flat of string 2, and we play string 4, which is an F underneath the barre. So we've got F, E flat, and high G. Slightly bluesier sound. So I'll go back, finger 3, C bass, okay, strings 5, 2, and 1, and then string 4. And now you can hear a little progression feeling now coming along. Okay, if you start to get tired in your hand, stop, shake out. Okay, and go through the whole process again. But there's no point in doing this exercise until you're comfortable that you're getting a good sound, especially that high note. The high note's the most important, remember. Okay, so we've got that. One more. We're now going to put finger 2 on fret 4 of string 3, the B note there. Low bass, string 6, so now we're doing a 6-string bass, and I'm going to play, I can vary these, but I can do strings 3 and 2, so B and D, that could be G major sound, or I can do string 6, 4 and 3, and you get like a bluesier sound now, G, F and B. Okay, so first thing you've got to do, you've got to get your barre across, the C shape one we're doing, the F shape one with finger 2, and the G with finger 2 on string 3, and you need to be able to practice those before you attempt the exercise. Right, so let's have a look at this jazz blues walking bass that I've called it. You can see in the music, I've put the chord names there, C7, F9, G7 and so on. Let's add a bit of realism so that we know the chords we're playing. I've put the position markers, it's pretty much all in fret 3, except the second half we go to position 7. We're going to play the same notes but higher up, so you learn how to do that. So let's start. So we go finger 3, and then up the A string, A, B, flat, B, place my barre, and here's my C7 shape that we talked about, C, E and G. And it's a swing rhythm, so I'll go the chord. And you see I put a staccato on the end note there, the E and the A playing together. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Okay, so I've got a nice staccato to cut it down before the next bass note. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, so then just play, as you can read, the E and G. Then I move my IM fingers down to play the B flat under the barre and the E. So I'll just play that again. That bar's going to repeat quite a few times, so I won't keep repeating how to play this bar when it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, what that takes us to, then we go to our F chord. Okay, so I've still got my barre. I've still got my barre, finger 2 now on E flat, and we get this sound. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, I'll go slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so it's just counting the notes and the bass through, nice staccatos to cut it short. Okay, so then we come to the repeat of bar 1 in bar 3, so I'm not going to play that again. I'm going to go straight to bar 4, and we've got our C-shaped chord here, C7. Okay, 1 and then we've got a ascending bass line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay, C, D, E flat, fret 1 to E, fret 2, and we're to our F shape now. Okay, so bar 6, so we get 1 and 2 and 3 and, same as bar 2, except I've added a C bass in the second bass note instead of the F. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. There's a rest there, of course. Descending bass in bar 7, so we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, I've gone to B there and back up to the C7 bar. Okay, I'm not going to repeat that, how to play that. Then we come to bar 9, so we've now got the bass going with the chord 1 and 2 and 3, G flat. We know that as F sharp, but let's learn some enharmonic names. So G flat just means G, going down to the G flat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, here's our G chord then now. So we've got G, B and D. You can use finger 3 or finger 4, a bit like for the other chords as well. So we've got going up to the E from the D, 1 and 2 and 3 and, okay, so you saw what I did there was I played the first part, 1 and 2 and bass, G and B and D, then I move my IMs to the next pair of strings to play B and F. Then we're going to our F, I've called it F9 chord because A is the 9th note of the F scale. From 2 and 7 is 9, so we get a repeat of the second bar of the study, or the third bar really, if you don't count the introduction, walk up. Now we're going to bar 10, 11, 12, so we get 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, I cut it short this time, I didn't play another note afterwards. 1 and 2 and 3, because we've got a walking bass going G flat, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, B flat up to B. And now we're going to play exactly the same kind of song, but in the higher position, so this will be really good for you to learn how to play in the upper part of the guitar neck. So bar 14, we've got now C bass. Okay, so let's be clear here. We've got an E string low, an E string high. We know A, B, C on frets 5, 7, 8 there, and so A, B, C, frets 5, 7 and 8 on the bass. This time I play that G-shaped chord that we had, which was down on fret 3. I'm just moving it up to fret 8. So now I've got C, E and G strings 6, 3 and 2. Okay. Put a staccato. 1 and now B, C, E. Okay, I use finger 1 there, not finger 2. So very simply we've got B, C, B, C. I'm just moving my hand around. E, fret 7 on string 5. Same E as fret 2 on string 4. We've got it, fret 7 there. So really good to start to learn these fret names now from the scales we're doing. So I'll play that again. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's my barre at the 8th fret again. F underneath on string 5. And now just open, just underneath the barre, 5, 3 and 2, there's E flat on string 3, G, 1 and E, F, B, C. Okay, so C, chord, up 1 fret, C sharp, fret 9, back to B, C, B, and then back to C, chord, C sharp, C natural, chord, down open string now. Okay, so all we're doing is we're just playing around these shapes. Then it's exactly the same notes, but we can play them in different places on the guitar. open string, string 4, bar 18, F. So we've got our G-shaped chord now being played on with an F bass note. Okay, so again, if you're not comfortable with barres, you need to practice them until you can get these comfortable. F bass chord, E flat and A, so that's strings 4 and 3, 1 and F sharp, F natural, E, F again, chord, G, walking up, A, B, and here's our C again at fret 8 with our G-shaped chord, we'll call it there, that we played to start off with. Its proper name really is actually an E shape, but we won't worry about that now. 1 and C sharp, C natural, B, C again. Walking down, B, A flat, fret 4, G, here's our G chord, G sharp, G natural, G flat to F, bar 23, chord, G, A, B, and here's our high C again at fret 8, B, A, G flat, what should we play? Yeah, we'll play that as a G flat. Now then, so all we did there was go C, B, A, G flat back up to G natural, and then I'm going to stay in the low position, A, B flat, B, and then a B flat, B, and then we're back to the start of the song where the symbol is, so we get yeah, we just keep repeating that until we get to the third line, the coda, and what we do there, we've ended up with a G, A, B flat, B. You can play that anywhere you want to really. You could play that as, let's have a look, G, A, B, yeah, B flat, B. Now we've got two chords, great sounding chords now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play these as fingers 3 and 4 on E flat and B, strings 2 and 3 there. I'm actually going to play them with finger 2 on an F, G bass, G, F, B, E flat. See that? And then all I'm going to do is move fingers 2 and 3 down to D, B flat and D, finger 2 on a C, finger 1 on an E, and that's what we call a C9 chord because it's got the D, the high D. C is 8, C to C, and then add another 1, 9. So all that sounds was a really great bluesy sounding and finishes off. Okay, so good luck with the Jazz Walking Blues. I'll do a demo video where I just play it through, no talking, and then you'll be able to hear what that sounds like. So practice your barres, don't attempt the exercises until you're ready to get a good sound on your barres, and then do the studies.